Good evening, you gorgeous human beings. It is a very, very late one. I'm only mildly annoyed by the fact that I started off recording in 4K. I am extremely grateful that I called it before I went into everything. So I have had a great day today, and through just observing a few things, I mean, it is very late at the time that I am recording this. What I realise is that I'm going to have to change things up a little bit if I am going to be able to fulfill all of my goals this year when it comes to content creation and making sure that I've got a consistent presence over here and on YouTube. So I just wanted to share my thought process with you and exactly what it is that I am going to be doing, in the hope that it sparks just, I always think that it's really interesting to hear the way other people think. And for me, I am the type of person who I'm either going to love the strategy, take the strategy and make it my own, or somebody's going to say something and that is going to stop me and send me off on my own little tangent, and I will then create something from the seed that has been planted. So either way, I hope that this video does this for you. So I often overcommit to things. And when I overcommit, I'm then like, okay, now I'm going to have to stop everything. And I absolutely do not want to do that this year. And so what I learned from my review process is that when I plan, when I take the time to plan, it makes it so much easier for me to execute. And with the planning and the execution, there has to be prioritization. So just doing the review yesterday, I'm like, this is a guiding principle that I get to use. What is the priority? So I shared this in my WhatsApp group earlier on, an amazing question from Dr. Chatterjee. What's the most important thing that you need to do today? Answering that question every single day, that becomes your number one priority. So when I am thinking about what is going to move the needle for me most in 2026, where do I feel we as a company, I could have done better? And consistency with my content creation, i.e. I want to post every single day, I get to be selling every single day, then there has to be more consistency. And what I realise is that with my commitment to YouTube and IG, and the fact that I've got the podcast and my newsletter, and I'm creating courses and content for, my paid programs, that's a lot of content. And it is all me. I've worked with teams in the past when it comes to my social media, and it's just never felt right. There is a connection that is lost. Even as soon as somebody starts repurposing my work, it loses some of the Susie magic. Now, I know that there are way more successful people out there than me going, what are you talking about? Just hand it over. I'm just not there yet. My social media has to be me. And if I create the way that I have always created, which is essentially just on the day, on the fly, pretty much like I've been doing these videos, there's no way that it will be sustainable. There's no way can I keep up with the volume of content if that is the way that I create. So there has to be a system that is put in place. And what's really great is, because I have already mapped out my 52 weeks of YouTube lives, I have 52 pieces of content. Brilliant. And so what I was thinking about today, when I'm asking myself the question, how can I make this easy? How can I stack the odds in my favor of doing exactly what I've said that I was going to do? Well, I can take those 52 themes and ask ChatGPT to help me come up with 7 subtitles for each of those weeks. That's a bloody good idea. It's a really good idea, because what I get then is cohesion across my YouTube and my Instagram. And because I know what it is that I am going to be posting about, it means that I can batch. And I will have to batch. Otherwise, I will be recording YouTube videos at midnight every night, which I can't do because I need to get up earlier. I want to get up earlier in the mornings. So what this means is that I am going to be doing my 75 medium updates over in my WhatsApp group. It's kind of, it makes sense. I'm out walking every single morning, and that's a really great time for me to do my updates. And then over here and on Instagram, I'm going to be doing my daily content, which will ultimately be one of the themes that I'm pulling out of my YouTube lives that I'll be doing on a weekly basis. This feels really, really good. So my invitation to you is to, first of all, notice if you are like me and overcommit to way too many things. If you are, the first invitation would be to see what can you strip back? What can you decide actually isn't that important? What could you be willing to let go of in order to focus on one specific thing? And you might say to me, well, I completely agree with you, Suze. Why are you choosing to do YouTube? Because arguably at this point in time, it's absolutely bloody pointless. No offence to those of you who are here with me watching. I really, really appreciate you. And, you know, I've got 25,000 followers over on Instagram. So arguably, if there isn't enough time, it would make way more sense for me just to continue to focus on growing my Instagram. Intuitively, I know that building a presence over here on YouTube, long form content where I'm able to really educate people on what they need to be thinking about before they start a coaching business, what they can be doing once they've started their coaching business, to be able to talk about the science of coaching and transformation. All of those things are going to be wildly invaluable when it comes to building this brand in 2026 and beyond. So even though it doesn't make sense actually now to be putting my energy into this at all, we're doing it. We are doing it because I am thinking about the brand for the long term. And actually just saying that, acknowledging that it doesn't make sense, and knowing that by the time I get to the end of the year, when I have built this channel to over 5,000 subscribers, and it really feels like a community of people who are here to learn, be inspired, take action, and for some of you, you know, come and allow myself and the team to support you in building your dreams, your goals, your desires. That version of me is going to be so bloody delighted that I invested time and energy and money in really understanding this platform and then using it in a way that feels cohesive and meaningful, rather than just a bit like a side project. Not project, but like a hobby. Like, oh, I'm just coming on YouTube and I'm going to share my innermost thoughts, and that's great. And we can be much more strategic and intentional. So what I'm really enjoying about the energy of the start of this year is that everything feels like it's a build from last year. And I feel like I am implementing lessons and learnings from all of the work and energy from last year. And, you know, last year we looked at planning, prioritization, and automation. This year it is planning, prioritization, and execution. I know that this is correct based on the things that I did do and the things that I didn't do last year. And being able to see, if we don't plan this, you're not going to win. If you don't prioritize this, you're going to be up at midnight every single night doing this. And if you don't execute, there's no way that you are going to be able to double your revenue this year. You know, and that is just under doubling the revenue is the goal. Organic social gets to really support us with this. That means I've got to be present, I've got to be consistent, I've got to be on it, I've got to stack the odds in my favour. So this is the way that I am thinking. I hope that there's been a little kernel here for you when it comes to either saying no to some more stuff. Maybe you should just be taking some stuff off your plate. And if you're like me and I'm making my word of the year is capacity. I'm looking to stretch my capacity. I'm not going to do that 2 years in a row. So if I'm going to do more and receive more, then there has to be a higher level of intention and strategic moves, which is what this feels like. So if you are like me and you're being intentional when it comes to stretching your own capacity, and you know that you are taking more on than what you would normally do, ask yourself the question, what do I need to do to stack the odds in my favour when it comes to fulfilling on what it is that I've said is important to me? Put a process in place in order to help you with that stack, and then go knock yourself out. Right. Thank you very much for being here. I will see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, please remember that faith plus action equals miracles.